everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. We have made it to video number 7 in our Cricut Design Space Hacks series. I hope that you have picked up some tips and tricks. Share some of your favorite ones down below. If you haven't seen any of the other videos or maybe you need a refresher, I'll link those videos down below in the description, and I'll also link the playlist right up here for you. This series has been so fun to put together, and I can't wait for you guys to be using all these hacks to make your crafting quicker and easier. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in those comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content that we have coming. So without further ado, let's get started. Now this here is a very complicated design, and that's okay. But this is going to be a cake topper, meaning we're going to make this with cardstock. But I'm not amazing at lining cardstock layers up, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't either. So let me show you a quick trick to help you layer this really easily. The first thing that I'm going to do is there's a boatload of layers over here. So I want to take all of the words, so all the letters, and I'm going to select them really quick. And I'm just holding Shift on my keyboard to select them. I'm going to go ahead and attach those. That way those are all one piece, because it's just easier if you can kind of reduce the amount of layers over here that you're looking at. We can also use things like group as well. So I'm going to group these stars together because these are all the same color and I want to keep those kind of together, but group is a great option because I don't want to cut them together. The happy birthday, I can cut together. That's fine. You'll see you also have these rainbow little clouds. Go ahead and group them. Group anything that's a like color. It's going to help you not only when you're doing this part, but also when you're going to cut it. So I've grouped all my like colors, but you can see we have a ton of other colors. Lots and lots of different colors and shapes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to start working with just certain layers. I'm going to start with the base layer and this yellow layer. So in order to do that, I just find it really easy to hide my items. And this is a little bit more of an advanced hack, but this hack really is so helpful when you're creating things like this that have a lot of layers. Now what I want to do is I want to duplicate this yellow layer. So I'm just going to duplicate it. Now this layer we're going to keep as is. So I'm just going to kind of stick it over to the side. I want to take this yellow layer that's right here. I'm going to go change this operation from basic cut to score. And then what I want to do is I want to attach it to this tealy color. In order to do that, all I'm going to do is just draw a square around both items, and I'm going to go down to attach. Now I want to take my yellow layer, which is right here, and I want to layer it back on top of this blue one. Now you'll notice that it's now below it, so just right click on it and bring this forward so that it's in front. Now you want to get that lined up. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're not really going to mess with this one anymore. Now we need to find the layer that goes on top of the yellow, which is this white layer. I'm going to just drag it back up to the top. I want it to be above that yellow layer. Sometimes it's a little difficult, so you can just kind of drag it that way. Now these should be pretty well lined up, but if they're not, what you can do, take your two layers, select them, align them, and center them, and that'll get them perfect where you want them. I want you to duplicate your white layer. Go ahead and slide that over to the side. Change this white layer over to a score line. And I want you to attach the score line and the yellow together. Then you can go ahead and take that white layer and line that back up. And again, if you're having issues, just go ahead, select everything, and you just go ahead and center it. That'll help you kind of layer everything correctly. Now we find the layer that goes on to the white layer next, which actually is going to be all these little rainbow pieces. So I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to pull all these layers down to the bottom, and I'm going to get all these rainbow layers showing back up, because these, we're going to be able to make these all into score lines by themselves, well, together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down again, Shift. I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to duplicate them, slide them all over to the side. Then you want to select the ones that are back on your cake topper piece. And again, you're just going to select them all. I want you to change the operation from basic cut to score. And then with all those selected, go ahead and select that white one and again, attach. Then you can kind of pull all of these colors back into place. And you're going to notice again that they're under that white layer. That's okay. Just pull that white layer under everything else. And then you can get these kind of lined up where they go. Again, doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but it is pretty helpful. Again, we're just going to kind of take all these different layers and make these score lines. Now, what these score lines are going to do is they're going to help you line everything up. So the biggest thing with this is to make sure that you have your colors all, where they need to be. Now, remember, we have all this text too. This text kind of in the way. This rainbow's in the way, so I'm going to hide everything really quick just to get it out of the way. It's just easier. Using these little hide options for your layers can make things so much simpler when you're just trying to get stuff done. Now that I have just the words, I'm going to go ahead and put this to the back, send that to the back, line up the words. I'm going to duplicate them, scooch these ones out of the way, and again, turn these over into score lines. Now, what this is doing is that when it's going to score your lines onto your paper, it's going to make it easier for you to line up all of your designs onto your cardstock. For me, I have a heck of a time when I'm lining stuff up on my cardstock, so I just find it so much easier that I can just use the attach option to make sure that everything is like lined up the way I want it and everything looks good. So I'm going to bring everything back in and I will show you what everything's going to look like. You won't see the score lines when you do this design because those score lines are going to be behind everything. So you're not going to see them. Now this is kind of weird because it's not all the way at the top, but I just want... Now, I don't have this lined up perfectly on the screen, but when you go to make this, what will happen is you're going to have the option to do scoring on each of the cardstock layers. That's going to help you line everything up. So when I click make, I'm not going to, you know what, let me go ahead and save this one just in case something happens. But what you'll see is we're going to have options for this. So I want to cut this on matte. But when you see this on your screen, now obviously these are really big. These little dashed lines are going to be for your scoring wheel or your scoring stylus. Now, I don't have score lines on the clouds, but you'll see here on the happy birthday, this is going to help me lay down each of my letters very, very evenly. Now, we do have a lot of different mats for this one. And again, like with this one, you'll see this one has that score line. That's going to have for your white outline to go on it. And then if you look here, this one will have for that pink line, and that's where you're going to line it up. It just helps you get everything really even and lined up. And that's just one of those little hacks that I think is so easy, but also a little bit confusing. But I promise that once you do it, you kind of understand it a little better. And I'll link some more full tutorials down below that show you this scoring hack a little bit better in more detail, because this is just like a quick hacks video. But I do show you how to do this, and it's so easy. If you want to make stickers, I highly recommend not using the Create Sticker feature. Let me show you the Create Sticker feature first, and then I'm going to explain to you why we don't want to use it. So Create Sticker is this option right here. Now this isn't Design Space access only thing, but don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do it even if you don't have access, and honestly, it's better. So what I'm going to do, click check it out, and you can choose die cut or kiss cut sticker. For this one, we are going to go ahead and just choose the die cut option. And here it's going to ask us if we want a border, and we can kind of change our border option, which is basically just using offset. So we can also just choose custom and change that border to whatever size we want it to be. But again, it's just like using offset. And then you can change your border color to whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to make it red so you can see it. From here, I click back, and then I just simply have to click apply. Now, it's made the sticker. We don't have to do anything else, which is kind of convenient, but I want to show you why we don't want to use this feature. When I click make, it's going to ask me to save. I won't save it right now. You'll see that my sticker is ready to go, and I can click continue. Now, I'm just going to tell it that I've already printed so that I can show you why I don't recommend this feature. We're connected to our Cricut Maker, but what I want to show you is that it's only giving us our Cricut printable options. It's only letting us choose their materials. I can go to my popular materials, but I can't choose anything. I can go to my bookmarked, and again, if it's not one of these compatible materials, I can't choose anything. I can go to browse all materials, but again, it's only allowing me to choose those very small list of items, and those may not be the cut settings that are going to work best for my product, even if I'm using Cricut sticker paper. All machines are different, so instead of using the create sticker button, which is going to limit your material settings, what I want you to do instead is I want you to create your own offset. It's really super easy. Now you'll see here that we've got our little cartoon illustration he's made as a sticker. Let me go ahead and re-add him so that I can actually create the design that I want. I've got my new sticker available. I'm going to go ahead and hide this one that says sticker so that you can see the difference. So instead of using create sticker, I'm going to use offset. And again, it's the same thing. You just kind of make your offset however big you want it, up to you. Click apply. Then you're going to change the color. I'll again use red just so you can see the offset. Then you select the entire design and you click flatten. From here, you can simply click make. And when I click continue, I'll tell it again that I've already sent it to the printer and I'll connect to my machine. And now what you're going to see is I have my bookmarked options. I have all my material options. So if I go under browse material options, I can literally look at every option available. It's not just what Cricut says will work. So for example, I have a sticker paper that I use from Nito Labels that cuts best on the iron-on setting. That's just how it is. It's just the best setting that works for that paper. So I don't recommend the Cricut sticker maker because you just really limit yourself with your cut options. Cricut has this great feature called guides, which I like to use as templates because it helps me size things, and I'm going to show you how easy they are to use. It's a great little hack to help you create things. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a shape, and our design is going to be going on to a little sign. Now, my sign here is going to be a 6x8 sign. So I'm going to come up to the top and I want to unlock the shape size, and I'm going to do it at 8 inches wide, and it's going to be 6 inches high. Now, right now we have this box, and we can use this for sure as our template. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to send this to the back, and then I can size my design, whatever it may be, to fit onto this blank. Now, if I want to go ahead and make this, I can just click make, but watch what's going to happen. It's going to want to cut out that square, which we don't want it to do. Now, there's a couple ways around it. You can always hide it before you make, but a really easy way is to take this square, go up to operation, and just change it to a guide. It's going to give you this pink outlined square. And what's great about this is you can kind of use that as your sizing. So if you want to make this to fit however big you need to make this, or maybe you want it smaller, you can do that. Then once you have it exactly where you want it and how you want it to look on to your blank with your guide, just hit make, and you'll notice that the guide doesn't exist. Cricut Design Space doesn't recognize the guide as a cuttable area. So when you go to click make, it just ignores it. So it's a really easy way that you can use this to make a template for whatever design you're making on whatever blank you're making to size your design correctly, and then just kind of skip an extra step with having to hide it or delete it before you move on. Now, another really cool way that I like to use the guides is to add some information to my design. So I just open up text, and let's say that I want to use this and I made this with a specific type of frame, or I'm using it for a specific event. Let's see, we'll say frame from the Dollar Tree, 8x10 in black, and then I want to say made for Gina's birthday. This can help you in the future if you ever want to make anything else, but you'll notice that now your text would assume that it's to be cut. Use the guide option, and now you have a note in here as to what you used it for, what you used it with. You could even say that you used, a certain kind of vinyl to create it, or whatever notes that you want to put into your project, and they're going to be right there on your project. But if you want to make it again and you hit make, it won't recognize that text as anything cuttable, but it will help you with your projects and remembering either what you used, how you used them. Maybe you want to enter some more information like fonts that you used, anything like that you can put into these little text boxes, change them to guide. They'll be there to help you, but they're not going to get in the way when you go to make it. You'll notice that there is this space over here that we could absolutely fit some of these designs on. So let me show you a quick way that you can move some of your designs around on your screen. I'm going to select the bottom two, and you can hold Shift on your keyboard and you'll see that it'll allow me to select multiple items. I could select all of them, but I really think that only two are going to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and just select the two that I think will fit on the other mat. Then you're going to click these three dots, and I want you to select Move Object and select this first mat here, then click Confirm. Now it is going to look like it didn't move them, but really down here at the bottom are the other two. I'm going to go ahead and turn them sideways, and you can see I can definitely fit one. And then if I turn this guy sideways, do we think we can fit him? Let's find out. Now I didn't put him in very evenly, but that's okay. I can kind of adjust so that he's more straight. And look at that. I could definitely fit that. I might even be able to fit another one down here, which you can always test and try. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one, click Move Object, select that mat again, and click Confirm. Now I took the top one, so he'll be up here. Now you'll notice it doesn't quite fit right there, but I can move this up a little bit, and now I can fit him. So I'm able to save a little bit more space, and then I can just adjust that one around. So that's a quick way that you can save some space with your Cricut by moving some of the stuff on your mats. Cricut doesn't always squeeze things in as well as it should. So here in Cricut Design Space, I want to make some stickers, but as you know, Cricut Design Space isn't great on knowing how to save as much material as possible. So I'm going to make 4 of each of these stickers. So I'm just going to duplicate them so I have 4 of each. Then when I click Make, what I want to show you is that it only puts 6 stickers on one sheet and 3 on another, but we can probably fit a lot more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Cancel. Now I have a printable template that I have available for you, and I will link it down below, but it's just this really handy dandy little template that you can use to fit your stickers to your sheet. So what I'm going to do here is you want to line these up, and you want to keep it inside the box, and you don't want to use this edge or this edge to line them up. Now you can really line these up however you want to, whatever works best for you. But what's great about doing it yourself is you can overlap the bounding boxes a bit. Cricut Design Space cannot do that. So you can see I can get these really close together, and I should be able to fit more stickers by doing it my way versus allowing Cricut Design Space to line them up. You saw that it only had 3 across. This one I'm going to be able to fit 4. I'm going to select all of them, and I'm just going to go ahead and align them once I pick the right sizing here. Now I did move them over a little bit, so I do need to kind of just pop these back over since they're overlapping. Now I'm going to get everybody lined up really quick and show you what this looks like when you line them up yourself. Now this is what my sticker sheet's going to look like. You'll see that by being able to rotate things, overlap bounding boxes, I'm able to fit a lot more onto my sheet. I could even put smaller stickers in some of these areas to take up more space. Now what you want to do is hide that box, select your design, and attach. Then you can click Make, and you'll just see that now I'm able to fit all those stickers onto one sheet with some space to spare.